scientist from the United Nations Department of Global Communications, and I have the great pleasure to be talking today with Massimo Bottura, renowned chef from Italy, here talking to us today about a very important topic. Thank you very much for being here with us today.
Ciao, thank you. Thanks to you. Thanks for inviting me.
Well, this is a very important occasion. We're talking here on the first International Day of Awareness of Food Loss and Waste. So this is the first ever day. We thought it would be great to talk to you about that because there's also been a very exciting announcement on your end. You have just been nominated United Nations Environment Goodwill Ambassador. Congratulations.
Thank you. It's such a pleasure. I still have butterflies, you know, after all these years and all these emotion, prize, stars, still you get the butterflies in your stomach. That's very important. That means you care. You still care about what you do.
You clearly care, and that's why you got that nomination. We're very happy to have you on the United Nations team. What does it mean to you? How is your work with the United Nations Environment Program started, and how will your role change now?
But everything starts from, you know, after the Universal Exposition in Milan, Milan Expo. And, you know, I had a very small restaurant, but with a lot of credibility in Modena. And, you know, it's crazy because when I opened that restaurant, I was like, I could never imagine to have all these prizes, stars, but became a speaker and a ambassador, goodwill ambassador for a United Nations. It would be like not even a dream, you know, would be out of the hemisphere. But in 2015, but everything starts step by step. In 2015, at the Milan Expo, in which the theme was Feed the Planet, we decided to feed the planet our own way, because we were contacted by all these the government, but they never asked us what I was thinking about feed the planet. So let me give you some numbers. We produce food right now for 12 billion people. We are 7 billion on Earth. You know, 860 million people, they don't have anything to eat. And we waste food almost, we waste almost 33% of what we produce. So these are the numbers. And to me, the most natural way to answer about feed the planet is fighting food waste. Transform the inevitable surplus food into amazing meals to feed the 860 million people. They don't have anything to eat. That's the point. So at this point, we create a community kitchen, a beautiful, welcoming place in style of a refettorio, no? Like the, you know, the refettorio of the monks. For who? For those in need, you know, homeless, refugees, migrants, using those ingredients that in this case was the ingredients, the inevitable food waste from the Universal Exposition. And that, you know, every day this big circus created, you know. And at one point, we decided to do this. We decided to invite it and to join us in our mission, all the chefs, the most influential chef in the world. But more than that, architects, farmers, artists, entrepreneurs, designers, and lots of volunteers. But why? Because we want to create a beautiful space full of art, of tables, design, and because with beauty, you can really, you cannot make a revolution, but one day the revolution will need beauty. And now we need beauty, because beauty will help to rebuild the dignity of the people. And it's for us was an incredible success, because we didn't know what to expect. You know, we were focusing on fighting food waste, but we have also learned that we were fighting social isolation. And this was it was easy, because we involve the whole community around us, that from protesters, because they were protesting on the street because we were opening a place like that, in an abandoned theater in the most neglected neighborhood in Milan. From protesters, they became volunteers, and now they are the soul of this project. So we start like that, and since then we now have 10 refectorios all over the world.
Well, congratulations. It sounds like that's a big success. It's something you often talk about, right? This connection, this role that food plays, not only as nourishment for the body, but also really for the whole person, how it connects people. How do people respond to that message?
The people in the beginning in Milan they were extremely diffident, because they didn't understand what we were doing. And so when we open, we start really in a very delicate way to show that, and to try to explain that we were there for them, not for this big show that was like the Universal Exposition. And but everything changed in the moment. One night, one of our guests, a Senegalese guy, brought his guitar, and it was after a couple of weeks, of service. And after dinner, we were serving. I remember we were serving pasta, because all our guests, after a couple of weeks, they became food critics, and they were talking to us like, okay, guys, but we are in Italy. We want to eat pasta. No, stop the soup. No more soups. We want pasta. And this Senegalese guy started playing guitar for everybody. And from that moment, everything changed. They understood we were there for them. And we were sharing this kind of approach that was completely different from any other soup kitchen. We were serving in a very deep hospitality way, amazing food as appetizer, pasta, or main course, and dessert, a 3-course meal. And because I always thought that cooking was an act of love. And as soon as I cook and I give all my love to my 3 Michelin star restaurant, I can give love to my family, and I can give love to the last of the world, probably. And these people they deserve a lot of joy, more than us. And cooking in this way, with this kind of approach, is a way to give and to share joy and emotion to everybody.
Well, and I think sharing joy and emotion has been especially important in recent months, where everybody has gone through such difficult times. Connecting people has also been harder during this COVID pandemic and all the lockdowns. What have you done about that?
We have done something very special. These are moments we lived very, very crazy moments, precious moments. That we decide, me, especially Alexa, my daughter, we decide to create something to share with the world, this kind of approach that was not a masterclass, but the joy of a family to share a meal around the table every night for 70 nights in a row. I don't know, we felt we had to do something very special to deserve these moments, these days. And at the end, it's been has been a privilege, you know, to be locked in our home with our families, and in the silence of the neighborhood, we were connecting with the world, and sharing in a very raw way. There was no filter. Charlie was there, Mr. Pyjama, and he was like our food critic, special food critic. Our my wife Lara was like working in the field, in the garden every day, and bringing back amazing ingredients from the garden. And me and Alexa, we were connected with the world, answering the whole afternoon during the preparation to the thousands of questions from all over the world, and also preparing for the evening. Was not just about, as I said, a masterclass, but was about philosophy, was about joy, was about connecting, was about, in this crazy time, we were bringing very dark, we were bringing a little bit of light every night to the family all over the world.
Well, it seems like a very great way of bringing people together, even when we're physically distant.
Yes, yes.
In times when we're not physically distanced, you actually run a nonprofit organization called Food for Soul,
Yes.
also based on food loss and food waste. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes. After Milan Expo, I thought we gave a good example. We had, I think, a great idea. But I thought everything was over till one moment in which, we receive a message from a very important journalist from São Paulo, Alexander Forbes, David Ers, and the mayor of Rio de Janeiro, saying, Massimo, we want the refectorio in Rio de Janeiro for the Olympics. I said, what? And my wife said, no way we're gonna do that, right? I said, well, what did you answer? I said, why not? And, from that moment, we decided to create a foundation that is called Food for Soul. And from that moment, we start raising money using my credibility and use the money to open refectorios all over the world. So we were able to open Rio de Janeiro during the Olympics and feed hundreds of people every day. But after Rio, we opened Modena, Bologna, Naples, Paris, London, Merida, and now Lima. And we are ready for New York.
Wow, so you really are all over the world, and all of this is based on food waste, actually.
Yeah,
that otherwise
actually,
wouldn't be used.
I don't even want to talk about food waste, but I want to talk about surplus food. Because the food, in kitchen quarantine, we were giving exactly the example of what was, for me, Food for Soul. We were opening the refrigerator every night, and we were cooking everything left in the refrigerator. We were, every Saturday, we were cooking just the leftover and transform the leftover into amazing meals. So that was not food waste to me. Is when is decomposed, when the food is not, it's over, but the life is over. But most of the time, 99% of the time, the surplus food sit in the stand of supermarkets, in our refrigerator, waiting for you to put a little bit of passion and love and find a way to express themselves in amazing dishes. So what we did and what we do every night with Food for Soul in every refectorio and what we do in our home is exactly that.
And this is actually also something that everybody at home can do, right? All of our viewers can do the same. You don't need to be a chef to do that.
That's the example that we try to do. It's simple. It's so simple to put together a salad, pasta, change the perspective of a fish that is sitting there and transform into amazing meals. with very simple, you don't need any special tools or you know, a little bit of imagination, a little bit of love, a little bit of creativity, but that's it. You can do it, and you have to know, you all have to know that in our homes our homes are the place where we waste the most. It's not the supermarket, it's not the restaurant, it's our homes. So
it's each and every one of us,
because this is the time. It's a very important time for the United Nations, and the campaign for United Nations is Act Now. Act now, because see, if you start now acting in a very ethic way, you're going to be part of this revolution. As Joseph Boyd was saying, we are the revolution, not me, Massimo Bottura. I can do whatever I can, but if we all do and we all act, follow the example, we can really make the revolution. So act now.
Act now. We do have a campaign. We do have a bot where each and every one of us can take these actions and can take them now. My final question for you, you've been working in this area of food and how to really make it sustainable for everybody for a long time. What would you say is your greatest achievement? Do you think you've seen a change in the attitudes of people, or maybe even the industry?
Absolutely, yes. We have, I see a lot of examples, especially in the younger generation, of people that are start following us, following For Food Soul, following our example, and opening different structures, fighting food waste. Supermarket, Italy and France, they passed a law against food waste. So they cannot throw away food like that when it's almost to expire. So now there are special aisles in which you can buy 50% discount all the surplus food that they have. We have seen a lot of good action, a lot. And I think this is something that probably I'm the most proud things I have done with Tortellante and you know, the new project about you know, social isolation, putting together grandmothers and disabled kids, special kids. So putting together and make tortellini and create a beautiful shop here in Modena, in which we can keep alive tradition through what? Through the most isolated categories, like the grandmothers, old people, and disabled kids. So these are projects that are part of our philosophy, no? Culture, knowledge, consciousness, sense of responsibility. What we do every day in Osteria Francescana, we create culture. Every day, one day after the other. Knowledge, we develop knowledge through technique, through the open the mind of these young apprentices. And we are conscious of what we have done and how we have done it. And from consciousness to the sense of responsibility, the step is very short. So our community is a part of this whole family of Francescana. And I think this is the biggest things and the biggest example that I can do. That is not like an approach, like aggressive approach to crazy situation that happen in the world, but it's one drop at a time, one seed at a time, we can act and change the world.
The little actions that each and every one can do.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
Thank you so much for this very uplifting and encouraging conversation. It's really good to hear that there's movements like this in the world, especially right now. So thanks for taking the time to talking to us.
Thank you.
To our
Thank
viewers,
you to everybody. I feel
congratulations.
So proud.
Congratulations
I feel
again.
Very, very proud of this.
Well, we are very happy to hear that and very happy to have you. And to our viewers back home, please stay tuned for more great content and great conversations to come out of the SDG Media Zone. Thank you very much.
Bye. Bye, everybody.